Hello and welcome to the Kindred Essence Tarot, to my latest reading, which is on the next soulmate to enter your life. So I am going to have about 5 different pick-a-pile readings, and this time I'm going to be doing mostly intuition and channeling, so you probably won't see any cards for this particular reading. But yeah, I feel it's going to be about 5 piles. So pick one of the piles to hear whatever messages come up regarding your future soulmate. Or even maybe a soulmate that's in your life now. It's just a soulmate reading. So pile 1 to 5. I think there's going to be 1 to 5 piles. I pick one of the piles, and let's get started. All right. Hello, pile number 1. So the first thing I see for this pile is an image of somebody who has red hair. And I'm hearing it's not necessarily that they have red hair, but they do, or they could, but it's more like they have a fiery personality. And their fiery personality, you may like this because it gets them, it's sort of like this engine that propels them forward. So they're not somebody who will sit on an idea for a long time. They will sort of power forward with it. They're very much somebody who will power forward with their idea. And I'm hearing 2 different threads. You may be the same type of person as them. Like, this may seem familiar to you. This energy field may seem familiar to you. Or else you may be the opposite, or toned down in an opposite direction. In which case, this energy could help balance you out. Help balance you out. Like, if you're somebody who has difficulty going for your goals, then this energy can balance you out. But if you have the same type of energy, this person, like a fiery person who doesn't sit long on an idea, they move forward with their energies, then this is also your pile, because your energies will be tantamount. And I'm hearing may have similar goals or different goals, or a similar type of energy about the type of goals, although they may be different goals. So I'm hearing the word goals. Having goals excite both of you. And it's interesting because I'm seeing that there's like sort of a separate, like, it's like an interesting energy, because you could be the same, but you could be actually quite a little bit different. But it's a sort of a complementary energy, is what I'm hearing. It's sort of a complementary energy, and it's a balanced energy. Even if it's opposite, if the energy is opposite to you, this fiery energy, then this is a good thing. I'm hearing this is a good combination of energies. Like, let's see what other messages. Let's see if there's. And I'm seeing the world. I'm seeing the color purple. Why am I seeing the color purple? I'm hearing this person could be like a fire sign. They could be a Leo energy. They could be somebody who or they could have that energy of somebody who they think very highly of themselves, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, a lot of people, they disparage that kind of energy, but I'm hearing that in this case it's a positive energy. It's somebody who's sort of, and I'm hearing if you're used to sort of like wishy-washy people or partners in your life, then this is a person who's sort of an opposite to that energy. And it's like a world, like, I'm hearing they could have been royalty in a past life, so they kind of carry that regal, confident King of Wands energy, that sort of King of Wands energy. And it could be we are welcome. It's like they break up stagnant energy wherever they go, and then they can probably break up your, like, sort of stagnant energy in your life as well too. But they have an energy field that's oftentimes it's very powerful, that helps to break up stagnant energy wherever it goes. And it's like wherever they go. And I'm hearing that this person they can adapt themselves oftentimes to different situations. So they're kind of a confident King of Wands energy I'm hearing. So yeah, that sort of powerful, confident energy of take charge and move forward, be confident, create what they want in your life and other people's lives. Yeah, they can do that. I'm hearing they can create in other people's lives too, just by being near other people. Their powerful energy can actually awaken creative forces in other people's lives, which is a very powerful responsibility, if you ask me. And yeah, and I'm hearing you may have some of that energy yourself too, of that sort of powerful awakening energy, like sort of powerfully creating what you want in your life and other people's. And if you don't have that energy, it's going to be very much activated by this person. You'll find yourself to be a more powerful, activated person with this person's energy around you. So it very has a very good energy. I'm hearing it's a very good energy, and yeah, it feels very good to me. This energy. So yeah, that's what I get. Now it is time to go on to pile number 2. All right, hello, pile number 2. Let's see what we're getting for pile number 2. I'm getting this person has a very interesting energy, and it's sort of like they can be, and I didn't want this to sound like a slur, but they can be many different people. But they have a very strong core. That's what I'm hearing. This person has a very strong, powerful core, not a wishy-washy person. They have a strong, powerful energy to this person that is sort of almost, I hear this almost like a block, a cinder block. And I'm going to go more into this energy, but it's sort of like an energy of, they're very much rooted to their purpose and to this inner earth. So it's sort of, I'm hearing this person could be a bit stubborn, is what I'm hearing. They could be almost a little bit stubborn, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, and unless it goes into a kind of a negative energy. But it's sort of like, okay, I'm going to try and get to the energy. It's sort of like they like to, I'm hearing they like to be sure of every step, but they are sure of every step. So they have kind of an interesting energy because they have a strong core, but then they've got kind of a complex energy because they can be, it's sort of like they can be like, oh, there'll be this personality for your grandma. There'll be this personality when they're meeting your boss. There'll be this person. So it's like they've got, and I don't want this to sound like it, they've got a multitude of different personalities. I'm hearing about 20 different personalities to pull from, but it doesn't mean that they have necessarily like multiple personality disorder, but it's sort of like they have this energy of like they have this energy of they can become different people. They're different people when it is needed, but it's not like they're fake. I'm hearing it's just like they've got this very balanced core, but then they can be different people. They can be kind of different people, the different people at different times, and it's sort of like they've kind of got a sigma personality, like with that sigma personality, independent. But they've also, I'm hearing, although they're independent, they do have social connections with other people. They do definitely have social connections with other people, but they have social connections with other people, but they it's like they do this without thinking. They having these different, and it's like they become more with other people. And I'm hearing, yeah, I'm seeing the purple energy. It's interesting. I got that for another pile too, a purple energy. But I think this is a different type of energy than other energy that I got. Okay, let's see. Purple energy. It's sort of like they know who they are and they cloak their energy. A lot of the time, like they cloak their energy sometimes without. It's like they do a lot of things unconsciously without knowing it. Like they've got. I mean, they know themselves, but they're kind of like they sort of they do a lot of things without knowing what they're doing, but it seems to work is what I'm hearing. So I'm hearing they may be a channeler, but without channeling. Like, and they may be interested actually in a lot of the spiritual esoteric arts. They may be interested in the spiritual esoteric arts, but it's sort of like they I'm hearing, yeah, their interest, it could be perked up. They could have a very strong interest in these kind of esoteric arts, but it's sort of like they have this almost royal personality. I'm hearing it's sort of from another planet. They have this confidence in navigating this reality because they kind of mastered another reality that's sort of different from this earth realm, but kind of similar or something. I'm trying to articulate it, but yeah, they've mastered a lot of different spiritual realms. So yeah, it's fair to say that this person's quite a spiritually oriented person, but it's a way, like, you know how a lot of spiritual people can be kind of a little, not to insult spiritual people, because I'm obviously a spiritual person, but it's sort of like they can be a little bit wishy-washy. They can't get their SHIT together. I'm hearing this, the person is the opposite. They take all the elements of their spiritual nature and they use it to powerfully get themselves together and to get their life together in this realm. So they know how to sort of use the spiritual elements to bend things to their will. I'm hearing this person could have a sort of a spiritual energy, a sort of a kind of a spiritual energy that helps them navigate this realm from other realms, being almost like a master. They mastered other realms that were very difficult. So there's kind of, their soul has a little bit of pride because of that. Or even they could have done it some, I'm hearing, like, and this is, yeah, so this is most likely the starseed energy, but like on other planets, they did sort of spiritual feats that people didn't think were possible. So that kind of energy, like winning a war in some cases, sort of, they're a king on other planets. So it's sort of like they take that energy of being a king on other planets and they take it here, but not in I'm hearing it's not in an obnoxious way. It's almost, it's almost like they've learned how to navigate this very difficult earth realm with quite a lot of finesse, which is quite like, because a lot of times people, like, they can have difficulty on, sort of starseeds can have difficulty, but I'm hearing this person, they've kind of really overcame a lot of their difficulty, and they've overcome their difficulty, and they're sort of like, yeah, they've overcome this difficulty, and they basically it's made them quite powerful in this realm. And I'm hearing another message. They may have a very special pet, or one or two, or even three. I'm hearing the numbers 1 or 2 or 3. And I'm hearing whether it's 1, whether it's 2, whether it's 3 pets. It's sort of like, these are very significant pets to them. And they could even be something from another realm that is very, very helpful to them. I'm hearing in some cases it's a lizard, like or a snake. And in other cases, it's a very cat, like 1 or 2 or 3 cats. Or maybe it's 1 cat, 2 lizards, 1 a mouse. I'm hearing 1 cat, 1 dog, a very weird pet that may make you think, oh, interesting, very interesting. And yeah, it's this yeah, these pets could be very significant to this person, and also similar to this person in nature, and very almost connected to their mindset. Very like it's like they feed this soulmate ideas, and then the soulmate feeds them ideas, and it's like a really interesting energy. It's like a very interesting energy. And I'm hearing, yeah, you do. I'm also hearing that people don't really want to mess with this person, but they don't know. I'm hearing some people may feel a little bit. I'm hearing like 80% of people are kind of drawn to this person, right? They're kind of drawn to this person, and in a very powerful way. But in other cases, I'm hearing like 15% of people are kind of almost fearful or repulsed by this person because they feel kind of nervous around this person. Because of their energy. It's like they sense something's a little bit different about this person. So it's kind of people that are kind of uncomfortable. But it's like this person doesn't seem like they don't have an odd demeanor or anything really that odd about them. But some people sense this sort of person's odd demeanor, and they kind of they kind of are kind of afraid or almost repulsed by this or angered by this person for no reason. But it's sort of like yeah, interesting. I think that's I think we've got also get, and I'm hearing also, you might want to see they've got some interesting energies, like very interesting spiritual energies in their home, like an artifact, a piece of paper or a picture. Like they've got some really, I'm hearing this person is an interesting energy field, and they've got interesting energy fields around them. And it's like they're connected to all this interesting energy field. I'm hearing another, they may have a friend that is very interesting too, like that's very, almost a very long-standing close friend that's very interesting as well. A very interesting energy. And it's yeah, a very interesting energy, like that's almost like they're henchmen from another planet. I don't. That's all I can describe. But I think I've adequately described that. So yes, that's the ending for pile number 2. Interesting energy. All right. Now it is time for pile number 3. Hello, pile number 3. Let's see. What do we have for pile number 3? Hello, pile number 3. All right. Let's see. What are we going to get? Okay, I'm getting this image of this person trying to reverse. Let's see what else. I'm getting this image of a reversal, some sort of reversal, or this person can be really try and overcorrect, is what I'm hearing. That's one of the sort of I don't know why I'm starting with the negative traits, but it's like it's actually a positive trait as well too. They try and really overcorrect for mistakes, and they don't like to make mistakes with people. They've got kind of a fearful energy field, but I'm hearing this is not necessarily a bad thing, because it's sort of like it makes them want to do their best and be their best. So not a negative thing, but yeah, they do have a grave, it's like they've got this grave demon that they're trying to deal with, a grave demon that they're trying to wrestle down. And it's like, but and they could be kind of have a very neurotic energy, I'm hearing, but it's not, I'm hearing you won't find it negative. I'm hearing you won't find this behavior to be a negative thing, because it kind of makes the person want to do their best, and eventually I'm hearing they will kind of release this sort of negative demon and energy field. But for now, it kind of makes them be all that they want. They really want to be. I'm hearing this person really wants to be all that they can be, and they feel like they must do that. They must be all that they can be. So they really try to do that. I'm hearing something about they're very particular about what they eat, about how they dress, about the way that their room is organized. So I'm hearing they could be like a Virgo or kind of that earth sign vibes. I'm hearing also Libra too. They're very particular, or Virgo. Their energy is very or earth side, but something that's very it doesn't have to be, but it's sort of like the energy I'm trying to pick up is something they're very particular about how things can be. And it's almost like they get sort of they can get sidetracked, I'm hearing, with their perfectionism. Like it's just sort of like they focus on one thing and then they kind of other things get neglected. I'm also hearing they could have Piscean energy too, kind of a mix of Virgorian energy and Piscean energy of like kind of this fear. But I'm hearing this person's they have kind of a neurotic energy of perfection, but they've also got a sweet Piscean energy of sort of, they've got a warm, loving energy as well too. But very much, I'm hearing this could be somebody who's they're quite a good employee, so they may have worked up the ranks at whatever the company they're in. They may have like become quite successful at something, or be on the path to being successful at something. They're quite on the path. So it's sort of like they just kind of got to get I'm hearing this one, they definitely have the ability to be very successful, but it's sort of like they've just got to sort of get themselves on the right, kind of get all their energies on the right path. And I mean, hearing they're in the process of doing it, or they're doing it, it's kind of like they're like the little engine that could. They are getting it in the right direction type thing. But it's sort of like, yeah, they may have had difficulty with this, but once they get on the right track, they definitely get on the right track, is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing you may even help them get on the right track in some cases, but in other cases they're or by sort of providing ideas or stability or support in some way. So it's sort of like but not like, I don't think this person really likes to be too like relying on to other people, but you may give a sense of relying being able to rely on, which will sort of calm their energy and sort of help them move forward. But it's sort of like it's kind of like it's sort of like and this person may be trying to get unstuck right now. They may be trying to sort of get unstuck, and I'm hearing, but the point is that they do have a lot of willpower. They've got a lot of willpower, goal orientation, like very discipline and drive. They've got that energy. It's just kind of gotten, like, I'm trying to describe the energy, sort of gotten a little bit twisted at times, or in the wrong direction, or kind of misguided, but they are sort of getting in the right direction, or trying to get in the right direction. And yeah, I'm hearing that life has not always been easy for this person to, in some cases it's quite, quite extreme how like this person's difficulty that they've gone through. But yeah, I'm hearing that it will be probably a good thing that you meet this person, because it's sort of like it's sort of like they could benefit from sort of stable social support, if you will, right? It's like I'm hearing they do have some support in their life, but they could kind of benefit from that sort of social support that sort of helps them like move forward, if you will. Like yeah, so yeah, a good energy, kind of a disciplined energy, but kind of needs to get on the right track energy, but wants to be on the right track energy, if that makes any sense. Interesting pile. So now let's go to pile number pile number 4. Okay, 2507. All right. Hello, pile number 4. Let us see. Okay, the first thing I heard was, this person wants to be the best. They kind of, but it's like, it's not in a bad way. It's sort of like, it's not even necessarily in a competitive, like putting other people down way, but it's sort of like an energy of this person's very dedicated to being the best, and they may have like 1 to 3 very like fixated and focused interests, like some very focused interests, and they really like to be like the best. And I'm hearing that if you don't, whatever their interest is that they really want to do, if you're not interested in that, and which you will, I'm hearing you will be, if you're meeting them, you will be, but it probably won't work for them if you're not if you're not, at least if you don't at least have some interest in their goals and desires, because I'm hearing that their goals and desires are very close to their heart. Their goals, their projects. It could be some sort of artistic thing that they're kind of doing on the side or full time. But if you're not really kind of at least interested in that, then like they probably won't. They're looking for somebody, like that's very important. They find somebody who's aligned with it. But I'm hearing that you will be, right? You will be, because you're meant to find this person. So it's like, but let's see what else. I'm hearing this person, they kind of have a little bit of a temper, but they don't like to show that. They're actually a little bit embarrassed of that, and they really probably won't want to show that aspect to you, because it's sort of like it's something they really think is a weakness, like showing a lot of anger, or it's not. So I'm hearing that this person may have an issue with suppressing a lot of anger, because they're almost afraid that it's not a spiritual aspect. So I'm hearing you may have to tell this person that it's okay to express anger, because I'm hearing if they don't express anger in like the appropriate way, which they don't. I'm hearing this person, they don't really feel that they don't like to be angry, because they don't think it's almost becoming. They don't think it's, and they don't want to become like, they don't think it's a really good energy. But so you may have to say, oh well, it's okay if you express anger, if you express anger, like that. They may have to tell you that you may have to tell them that. Let's see what else. Mice. Interesting. Mice kit. I don't know why that just popped into my head. Do they have a mouse as a pet? I don't think so. Let's see, mice. I'm hearing that this person. Okay, I'm hearing this person always gets their cheese. Like, I'm hearing in a maze. I'm seeing an image of a maze. Like, if they're put into a maze and there's cheese, they'll always find it. So what I'm hearing is that it's kind of like they could have like an inquisitive mind. So that's what I'm trying to. And conversely, I could hear they could sometimes feel small at times. Not very small, but just like sometimes, like just, it's sort of like they may feel that a little bit and not want to feel that way. But it's sort of like, I'm hearing, no, it's more like the energy of like a mice, that, how mice are kind of like, they always like find something. They find a way, right? If there's a cheese, they may even, I'm seeing an image of like, how there's like a mouse trap. They may be able to sneak out and figure out a way to get the cheese. So this person may have a very kind of a sneaky, inquisitive mind, but not not in a bad way, but just sort of like a they kind of like to inquisitively figure things out. They like to inquisitively what's the word? Sort of like just inquisitively determine what it is that's happening or something like that. Like it's sort of like that's the energy that I'm getting. And and it's almost like they have a little bit, I'm hearing this person, they may have a little bit of fear of females, but it's not really it's like a weird, it's like they don't like to upset female. That's what I'm hearing. They may have this energy like, oh, if there's a problem and they don't want to, it's like it's interesting. It's almost like dancing. This person has, I keep on getting, they have this issue with anger. Like they kind of, they don't quite know how to process it, so they sort of like they kind of avoid it in themselves and others. So it's sort of like there's this energy of like, oh, I'm not going to do anything to make you angry, and then you're not going to do anything to make me angry type thing. And then it's sort of like they're almost afraid of angry females is what I'm hearing. So it's sort of like if you're upset with this person, you may not want to throw things around or maybe not want to like be really angry because it's kind of a little bit traumatic for this person. So you may want to express it in a way that's kind of maybe logical or balanced, right? Because this person's a little bit like a bit of fearful, that kind of energy. That's what I picked up. But it's not like they're totally adverse to anger. It's not like it's just they're a little bit, have a bit of fear of that, if that makes sense. That it's sort of a weird energy, but not a bad energy. I don't say that they're not a bad person, but just like a energy of fear of anger. Interesting. And then let's see any other messages. I'm hearing this person may enter your life. I'm not hearing when you least expect it, or that could be the message, but it's more like it's sort of like they may not be what you may not see them at first because you've got to realign your thinking to see them. So it's sort of like I'm hearing something about realigning your energy field will help you see this person. Because sometimes they don't know. It's interesting anything because I'm hearing on one end this person's like a very assertive and strong person, but on the other hand, it's sort of like they have like an energy that isn't that way. Like if you were to mean, you'd be like, oh, this is a very like confident, strong, assertive person. But on the other hand, they have sort of like a mouse-like energy, which is people wouldn't think of that way because this is not the way that they present, right? People wouldn't think that way, but it's sort of like they have this sort of opposite energy too, of almost mouse-like, that sort of kind of wants to slink away and be sneaky and be by themselves. But they've got the most of their personality is kind of an assertive. They have that strong assertive energy too, but then they're afraid of anger too. So they've got an interesting personality structure, and it's kind of, it's a weird way. It feels like it's balanced out, or could be balanced out, or almost be balanced out, but it's like it's not a bad energy at all. It's a good energy. Just needs a little bit of tweaking and balancing, if that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so now it is time for 5. Hello, pile 5. Let us see, what do we have? Okay, I'm going to write this down. All right, hello, pile 5. Let's see, what do we have for pile number 5? Let's see, what energy? Okay, so I'm getting, first of all, what I'm hearing is tall. And this could be physically tall, but if not, it's kind of like a tall energy. It's sort of like a tall energy. It's sort of like, almost like, I don't know, I heard Thor. Is that a character? Almost, it could be a strong or tall energy. Interesting. Kind of like, and I'm hearing, but what you see is not what you get. So this could be somebody who has very, like, different aspects of themselves. Like, it's somebody, if they like work out at the gym, then they like poetry. If they like poetry, then they like going to metal concerts. So it's sort of like, if they make metal concerts, and they also like classical music. So it's sort of like they could have sort of a personality, like, attributes that are kind of not contradictory, but yeah, something like being contradictory to one another. So if they're very masculine, they could also be have a very feminine side to them. Like, it's sort of like that, sort of like that energy of like, if they like, they could have a really social side, a super social side, but then they've also got an equal side that really likes to hang out. So it's like they can vacillate between these different aspects of themselves. And it's kind of an interesting energy. Like, it's sort of like, um yeah, I'm hearing this person kind of likes the dark, or they like calming energies too, is what I'm hearing. They like calming energies, and they could be like a football player that likes to read, like somebody who is a football player but also likes to read, and like who likes poetry and stuff like that. So it's sort of like, yeah, it's kind of like they've got an energy that's yeah, very, like, if they're kind of a clean shaving person who is a metrosexual type energy, they also like to work on their car and stuff. And so it's sort of like this interesting energy. But I'm hearing this person could be like a sensitive type person. And yeah, they could have that kind of energy, but it's sort of like they can't really, it's like almost, I'm hearing that they couldn't really express themselves all that much when they were growing up. So it's sort of like, it was like sort of a sort of, how do I say it, like, sort of, because of that, because they couldn't express themselves in some way, so they sort of developed these different sort of disparate personality traits. But I think this is kind of an interesting, and I'm hearing most people like them. I'm hearing males like them, females like them, because they have like a balanced calming energy on other people. They kind of have a calming energy that people like. So I'm hearing, yeah, you could see this person, like, equally at a poetry reading, but you could at a sports event, and they would fit into either event, and they could easily, like, if they're at a poetry event, they could go to a sports event and be totally fine with that. So it's like versatility. I'm hearing it's kind of a versatile, balanced energy that's beneficial. Like reading poetry, and maybe in like being outdoors as well too, and being in like extreme sports events. So it's like, yeah, extreme sports events, reading music, like classical, liking the harp. I'm hearing like they could even, like, very odd, like they could play the harp or something and people would never believe it. Like, I don't know, like they could play the harp and people were like, what? But you like sports, extreme contact sports, but you also like playing the harp as well too. So it's sort of like a very like almost, yeah, balanced energy. And yeah. So yeah, that's all I've, and I'm hearing that, yeah, I think you'll know when you meet this person, but it's like, because it's kind of like they've got a certain energy field to them that you'll recognize. It's sort of a square, rectangular energy or some sort of energy. It could not be that, but it's like a certain energy field that you will recognize. Okay, well, this is all we have. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a terrific day. Bye-bye.